Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a Let's Talk About It. You guys know that I do my Let's Talk About It on subjects that are hot topics that I know that YouTube is going to flag. What are we talking about today? The crisis in Libya. So let's get to it. All right, so anybody that has social media has not been able to escape the images that have run across our timelines of the human trafficking situation in Libya. They are, in short, selling people to the highest bidder. And when you see these images, the first question is, why is this happening? This is modern day society. You would think that Libya, a place that you hadn't heard having these type of issues, the confusion that came over me about this, where did it come from? All of a sudden, the government is allowing people being sold. So while the images were going across my timeline, of course, my question was like, how is the government letting this happen? So I tweeted that. And someone on Twitter said, well, Roxanne, there is no government there. The government was toppled. It was destabilized. And now the country has been thrown into chaos. So when I read that, I was like, oh, well, then that makes sense. So I started to do some reading. And you guys know that I am not a political analyst. I always feel nervous when I talk about politics because I realize that I have told you guys plenty of times that I definitely am not versed in foreign policy. However, we talk about it and y'all correct me or you tell me if I'm right or wrong or whatever. Try to shed more light to the understanding. So that's what we're doing today. But as I read up on it, there was an article in USA Today that shed the most light. So I'm going to tell you what I was able to find out. Most directly, the reason why Libya is in chaos is because I'm going to back up to the early 2000s, the George W. Bush era. There was a peace treaty that was signed between the U.S. and Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. And in this peace treaty that was signed, they agreed that if Libya would get rid of their weapons of mass destruction, that the United States would not kill Gaddafi. So after the peace treaty was signed, it was a done deal. He could run his country however he wanted to run it, and the United States was not going to fool with him at all. Fast forward to the Obama administration, and this is what breaks my heart about this, you guys, that I even have to say this. But fast forward to the Obama administration. Hillary Clinton, as the Secretary of State, decided that for some reason Gaddafi was a threat and was able to convince NATO that they needed to strike and kill him. So even though they had this peace treaty in place, and it had been working fine all this time, they decided to go and kill him last year, a couple of years ago. And I remember when all this was going on in Libya, but me going on with my life back then, didn't really pay much attention to it. I knew that they had killed Gaddafi, but did not realize the long range implications and the problems that this killing would pose. Now, Gaddafi was always kind of demonized in the media back in the day, so I will even admit that my general understanding of him was not the most positive. So when they killed him, even though I didn't really know much about it, it did not affect my life too much. But fast forward to now, we see that killing had a direct impact on what is going on in Libya. And there may be a whole bunch of other things that have happened in the background. The situation over in the Middle East, they say, has been a mess, with Syria and all of the other issues that are going on over there. But Libya as its own was a separate situation, they say, because Libya pretty much was minding their own business, was not a threat to the United States. So nobody could really understand why they felt like they needed to just kill him now. Well, if you dig a little deeper, you find out that, it's about money. And usually these things are. Evidently Gaddafi was, now I'm just telling you guys what I read and trying to make sense of it. Gaddafi was trying to start this gold-backed currency over there in Libya because they have all these tons and tons of gold. And what I believe they said was this gold dinar that he was going to have was going to end up making the French franc worthless. And so I guess Hillary Clinton, along with the president, was Sarkozy, she was able to get France to agree to kill Gaddafi because I'm imagining that eventually it would have affected the US dollar as well. So they did not want this African currency to gain all of this power. So they killed Gaddafi. So that is more of the reason of why they did it. Went after him when he wasn't doing anything because of this money situation. So, like I said, I'm sure there's way, way more to it, but that is my general understanding of what is going on. Y'all, my political analysts out there, Rebecca, girl, if you watching, y'all chime in. I have many others out there also who are very, you guys know way more about these things than I do. But just when I look at this one issue of what is going on with Libya, most directly you have to point the finger at Hillary Clinton and unfortunately the Obama administration. Okay, I know people gonna get down in there and say, you know, President Obama didn't really have power and there's other people that's pulling the strings, and you know, you don't realize, you know, open your eyes, there's other things going on in that play. And I got all that. I got all of that. But the emails that are out there that explain their whole plan of trying to topple Libya and kill Gaddafi and the reasoning, there's emails out there that clearly, clearly shows the conversation that Hillary Clinton was having with these other people, and why NATO decided to do what they did. And we just cannot. There's no way that you can separate the Obama administration from what is going on in Libya right now. And it's unfortunate. It is such a terrible thing to leave on the legacy of the Obama administration. I realize that people are human and you make decisions and they may not be the best. That comes along with being the president. This is definitely one of those times where, in my opinion, this was a terrible decision. Okay. Because now you've got what's going on in Libya over there, and what do you do to fix it? You have people that are being sold. There is nobody to talk to try to change it. There's no government there. Okay, so pretty much everybody is kind of just doing what the hell they want to do. And in those situations, I don't even know how you gain control of that. So it's a mess. And there are a lot of people on even my timeline that are trying to come up with ways to try to fix it. Supporting anti-human trafficking causes, writing into your government here in the U.S. and explaining that it needs to be, something needs to be done. I don't really know what is the answer to this. The true victims now are the people, the migrants that are trying to come through Libya to get to Europe, getting held up there. And like I said, because there's so much lawlessness and everybody just doing what the hell they want to do, they are holding these people and they are forcing them into human trafficking. So completely a mess, a disaster. What's interesting is they're not really talking about it too much on the media. I'm sure we know why, but it also feels like there may be some protection in place of Hillary Clinton and the decisions that they made. And of course, there's so much shit going on with your stupid ass, petty ass president and all of the dumb mistakes that he makes that they don't even try to fit much other news into a CNN hour any longer. But yeah, it's a sad story, and it's even more to it. Like I said, anybody else who has more light that they can shed on this situation, y'all go on and leave it in the comments below. But I just wanted to bring this to you guys, discuss it. Like I said, let's talk about it. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. Top of the blogs will be coming later on today, so y'all look out for that. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm It's Rocks. The channel is for It's Rocks. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right? All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.